Hi all, this is Karthik from Design School by WP Algorithm. In this video, I'll show you Wpvivid Pro, both the free version and the pro version. It's one of the best backup plugins for your WordPress website. Like I said in the 5 essential WordPress plugins list, backup is the first plugin that you should install on your WordPress website. It can be any backup, and in this video, we'll talk about Wpvivid. Essentially, Wpvivid do 5 things, not just backup. So it can backup, it can migrate, it can schedule a backup, it can restore, and even better, it even has a one-click staging environment feature which lets you create staging environment and test your websites just all within this plugin. I'll show you how this works. Now the pro version is actually an extension of the free version, so you need to have both installed on your website. I'll show you how it works with the pro version, then we'll see what's exclusive to the pro version and the features missing in the free version. And guess what, even the free version has ton of features and it gets your job done. Anyway, let's get started. So once you install and activate Wpvivid, it has its own dashboard entry. Click on it and the first tab here says backup and migration. So here you can create a manual backup. You can also schedule your backups. You can restore your backups. You can send your backups to remote storage, which I'll show you in a bit. And logs essentially give you information on each of the tasks performed. So it will give you a brief information about how the backup went, or how the scheduling went, or how the restoration went, and all that stuff. Key is used for auto migration, which we'll talk about in a bit. So let's get started with backup. So here under step 1, you can either choose to save it to your server. Since I have this installed on my local machine, it's asking me to save it to localhost, which I can click here, or I can also send it to remote storage. Let's save it to remote storage first, and then once you pick option 1, you can go to step 2, and within here you have a lot of options. You can either choose to backup your database and files, or just files such as your images, media and all that stuff, or your database, so it will have all the information about all the plugins. But what I essentially want to do is to have a complete snapshot of my website. So I just want each and everything to be backed up, so that way I can simply click and restore my website to that point in time without thinking too much about the database, plugins and stuff like that. So I'll just click on custom backup, and this custom backup is again a pro feature. So I'll just click on custom backup. I'll choose all the options here. I'll just add a comment for it. I'll say WP Fresh First Backup. I'll say WP Fresh First. So that's the prefix, and this will be the file name by the moment it generates the backup. And once you pick all this, you can also mark it so that it can only be deleted manually but not automatically. I'll show you how it gets deleted automatically. So once you pick the options, you can simply click on backup now, and it will show you the status of your backup. It's showing me the database size, file size, and once it's completed, it will show you that the backup is finished. I'll just wait for it to complete, and right here it shows that one backup tasks have been completed, and it asks me to switch to the log page. So I'll just click here, and here you can see that I have the most recent backup right here. I can click on this log to view how it went. This is some general information of what's backed up and where it's stored. Since it's stored in my local host or on my computer, I can simply go to this location. I'll just go to this location. I'll type it in my finder, and within my finder, I can see the latest backup right here. So I have the backup on my site. I've deleted all the other backups. I just have the one which I recently made. You can also view the local storage location from here. If you're on Windows, it will give you the path. You can simply type it or go to that path on your computer or your hard drive, whatever. So once you have the backup, I'll just make some changes and I'll restore the same backup. Let's go to the list of installed plugins, and you can see I don't have Elementor over here. Also, let's see the available pages. Since I've backed up a complete snapshot of my website, everything will be restored to this particular location. So all the posts, pages, and you can see it has over 5 posts, right? So I'll just do one thing. I'll delete all the posts. I'll apply. I'll remove them completely from the trash just to show you that I can get them back. Not a big deal. I'll also create some pages. First, I'll install an Elementor plugin. I'll make some pages. I'll just make a dummy page just to show you. You can see we just have like 4 or 5 plugins. Let's install Elementor. Elementor is not installed on our website. I'll go to Elementor, WordPress repository. I'll install Elementor. I'll maybe install this one, happy add-ons as well. Now I'll go to my pages. I'll just create a new page. I'll call it test page. I'll edit this with Elementor. I'm making all these changes so that I'll restore my backup to that particular point and you'll understand how it works. Let's insert a page from Envato Elements. Click this, I'll pick a page, I'll pick something from here, I'll pick this, I'll import this template. So it will give me this template into this page. I'm importing this template from Envato Elements. I have Envato Elements installed and activated on my site. I also have Elementor installed and activated right now. I also have another page imported. Just click here. I'll publish this page, refresh it so it reloads the page. I'll access my templates. I'll just insert this template. I'll click yes. You can basically do any changes on your website. Since you're storing your website as a snapshot, really doesn't matter. So here's a page. So I have this page with all the images and stuff like that. All the images, all the text, all the animations. I'll just update this page. So now this page is live. I'll hit Command E. I'll go to dashboard. Okay, now that we've created new page from within here and we've deleted all the posts and we've added couple of add-ons, we can make any changes on your website. You can either install a child theme, you can do PHP stuff, you can tweak anything, and that's the reason why we have backups in first place. Just in case if something goes wrong, you'll restore to the last possible backup. And even before restoring it or updating the site, you often back up your website. It's always a good idea to back your website before you update your themes or plugins. That's what smart people do. I'll click on Wpvivid again. I'll choose custom backup. I'll choose localhost. I'll choose custom backup. I'll say WP fresh second backup. So you can also restore to this point. We already have a first snapshot. This is our second snapshot. So I'll just click on backup and it will have all the data at this point. So it will have all the files, plugins, themes, whatever. Even if you change the theme and all that stuff, you can simply restore it to this location. Even this will be saved in that local backup folder, and within few seconds of time the backup is completed. I can simply go to the log and there's our backup. Okay, now what I'll essentially do is to restore our site to a backup. In case your website crashes, you can do a fresh install of WordPress and you can simply restore using Wpvivid backup. That's how you use backup plugins. So you'll go to, once you install and activate Wpvivid Pro and free on your fresh install or whatever website you have, you just go to backup and restore tab. We have a couple of backups. This is the first backup and this is the second backup. So I'll just click on restore and here it'll ask me to pick what I want to restore. I just want everything to be restored from this backup. So I'll just check everything and click on OK. Now let's see, it'll extract that zip file, it'll take all the information from that backup and restore our website to that particular point in time. It's just like having a snapshot. I just love this feature. And it'll also remove all the add-ons, all the themes, all the pages, and it'll put all the content that we had in this particular backup. It says restore completed successfully. I'll click OK and you can see that now Elementor and all the plugins are gone. And if I go to all posts, you can see I have all my posts back. We just deleted all the posts, but since we restored that backup, now our website is actually the same as before. You can also restore it to the second backup. So I'll click on backup and migration. I'll go to backup and restore. Now I'll restore it to the second backup. You can click here. I'll restore everything. I'll click OK. And at times it may even log you out of your website if something's changed or if it needs to. You can then simply log into your website. Don't worry, we'll see how that works. Now we are actually restoring it to the latest backup. That's how restore works. And it says restore completed successfully. I'll hit OK and I get all the plugins, all the templates, and now the posts and pages are restored to this particular point in time. So you have your test page here. You can simply click on edit with Elementor. Let's go to WP backup. Now that's option 1. You can also save it to remote storage. Actually, this is a more recommended method of doing things. It says there is no default remote storage configured. I want to set it up first. So I'll go to remote storage tab or it'll automatically take me to remote storage. I'll just say WP backups just to identify the folder by its name, and I'll just authenticate with Google Drive. It'll take me to the Google Drive. Once I sign in with my credentials, it'll ask me to, if I really want to grant permission to Wpvivid, I'll just click allow and it'll say I'm allowing Wpvivid. I'm okay with that. I'll say allow and that will take me back. Now I've authenticated my Google Drive with Wpvivid. So this time I can send my storage, my backup to a remote storage. You can simply pick everything else. I'll say WP Fresh Remote 1 and simply click on backup. Now that's actually backing up to your remote storage, which was configured here. It's backing up stuff. You can also save it to localhost like we did earlier. Now it's actually backing up to the remote storage. It's all automatic. You don't have to understand much. It's step by step and everything works flawlessly. So it's actually uploading my backup to Google Drive. I'll just wait for it to complete and I'll resume the video. Now my Google Drive backup is completed. It shows me the backup is completed, and if you scroll through the remote storage, it says I've stored my backup here. I can also restore it to that. You can either choose localhost or you can click on remote storage where you want to restore from. I can simply click here to restore that particular backup, and within local under schedule tab you can schedule your backup. So you can do backups based on your need. If you have a content heavy site, you can maybe do it for every 12 hours, but remember this puts load on your server, so make sure that your server is ready for it or your host is okay with it. Sometimes they'll just limit this, so check with your hosting company to see what kind of backup you can perform. But you can do a daily backup or within every 2 days, and you can choose what to backup here, and you can also send it to localhost or one of the remote storage options that you've selected. Within the remote storage options, you can see I can only see the Google Drive because I've authenticated that. You can authenticate multiple storage options. You can also create new schedules for it. So there's our schedule. I'll just save changes. You can also do incremental backup, so it will back up the files that are only changed. It won't change anything else. And within backup and restore under localhost, you have something called display all backup stored under, and when you click on this drop down, there are two new options. One is rollback, and when you click on this, it will tell you what rollback is. Essentially, when you're updating your themes, plugins or core files, Wpvivid automatically makes few changes or few backups, so that just in case something goes wrong, you can simply restore it to this particular folder. Also the incremental backup, which you have picked from the schedule tab, so you can either pick to restore from actual backup, full backup, rollback that happens when you're updating themes, plugins or files, or incremental backup when you change something on your site. So you have a lot of flexibility here. You can add multiple storage, remote storage options. You can also authenticate with Google Drive. You can also authenticate, and once you authenticate all the options, you can check all the boxes and click on save changes. So when you make or when you send a backup to remote storage, it will be sent to all the remote storage locations, and this is a pro feature. Even the custom scheduling and the incremental backup is a pro only feature. It's really powerful. Let's talk about migration. So how do you migrate? Well, you just install Wpvivid on that particular site. You generate a key on that site, and once you do, you can go to backup and migration. You can click here and you can send it to remote storage. So what it essentially does is that when you send it to the remote storage, you can go back to that particular site to backup and restore, and simply restore that you made to remote storage. So migration becomes really hassle free. You don't have to do much. It's all automatic. You can also choose auto migration that works with the key. We'll talk about migration in another video. For keeping this video short, I'll just show you how to create a staging environment, one-click staging environment. So within this option, you have option 2. I'll just click here to create a staging site. It says create a staging site. I'll say staging 1 or staging WP. So this is my staging site. I'll leave rest as is, and I'll just click on create staging. It'll just create a staging site, and I'll show you how that works. So let it complete. Now it's 14% completed. Staging is essentially used when you want to test out plugins compatibility, when you want to test out Elementor add-on compatibilities, when you want to test out how themes will perform if you update them. So basically, instead of just making the changes and then rolling it back, you can test it before, so that you can make sure that when you push it to the live server from the staging server, everything works just great and your users won't be affected. And that's the reason why you need staging in the first place. As you can see, I've created a staging site, and it shows that this is the URL of the staging website, and this is how I log in. So I'll just click this link. It'll open up the staging web new tab. I'll just log in, and the bar is orange in color, indicating that this is our staging site. We'll just go to the page that we created with Elementor earlier. So it's this page. I'll just make some changes to it. I'll remove some of the plugins, and we'll push it to the live server. So this is my staging site, as you can see, and not just one staging site. You can create multiple staging sites with Wpvivid Pro. Just click on create staging and name another one type of staging you want. Maybe you want to test out just the themes and plugins but not anything else, so you can check this box and create another staging for that. Or if you just want to test everything, you can click everything and create another staging site, which we did here. So I just opened this page. I'll click on this text. I'll change the color to blue. I'll just make some couple of changes. I'll go to style. I'll change the background color to blue as well. I'll update this. I'll create a new page on my staging site. I'll just do this with Gutenberg because you can do anything. I'll just pick this image. I'll hit OK. I'll say hello staging. I'll publish this page. Okay, now that we have made all the changes that we want in our staging site, you can simply push it to our live site, which is the actual site. So you can go here and there's a button called copy staging to the live site. So all the changes that we made we changed this page here. Let's open the same page in our actual website. And let's click on edit with Elementor and go to WP dashboard. And the same page on staging site, I made these changes. Usually you'd edit all the plugins, themes, or you can change functions.php. So this is my actual site, and these are the changes that I made on staging site. So the blue thing, you can see the button here, and also we created a new page. So we'll just push our staging from here. So I'll click on staging sites here. I'll click on copy. I'll hit custom content. I'll copy everything that was changed in the staging site. You can also choose database or upload folder. I'll just choose custom content. I'll click everything. I'll click copy now. We'll just wait for the staging to be completed. Now my staging is completed and I can go to the same page and you can see the blue color over here. We can also go to pages, and this is the page that we just created with Gutenberg. So you can simply click on that and there's our content. So this is our live site and we pushed all this from the staging site. Isn't it cool? So you can work on as many staging environments as you want. You can test out all your plugins, themes. So this is Wpvivid Pro, both the free and the pro version in action. Now let's disable the pro version and see what's exactly the features that we miss if we don't get the pro version. So there are two plugins, as you can see. I'll just deactivate the pro version, and within Wpvivid, when I had Wpvivid Pro active, I could also assign roles, so you could tell who can do what. So you can click on roles and capabilities. I just reactivated it. So for editor, there are no other roles allowed, so maybe you can just make him to create staging sites. So you can assign various roles and various functions to various roles. But when I disable the pro version, the roles is gone. And let's see what are the features that we miss in the free version. As you can see, staging is also not there, the content, because it's a pro feature. You can schedule entire, or you can enable a thing, but incremental backup is a pro feature. Advanced schedule is also a pro feature. Also a custom time for your scheduling can also be a pro feature, is also a pro feature. You can add multiple schedules only in the pro version, as it shows here. If you go to auto migration, to again the custom migration, what you want to migrate is a pro feature. Staging site and even a custom backup is a pro only feature. So you'd miss all this if you don't get the pro version. But I think for most tasks the free version is also good enough, but the pro version is where you can do amazing stuff. I'll leave a link to Wpvivid in the description. Make sure you check that out. That's it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.